If you run a business or manage a team, you already know the slower your software updates, the slower everything moves. So imagine this, you're sitting in a client's meeting and you present your application and he says, I'm not very happy with the appearance of this button over there. And you say, all right, I'll note it down. 5 minutes later, you come back and tell him, refresh the page and have a look. He's doing this, seeing the result, looking back at you and says, but wait, I literally just told you. How does it work? The app is obviously fixed, already deployed and working. Trust me, no developer ever touched the code. So you might think this is the future. I tell you it's not. This is already happening and let me show you how you build it in OpenClaw. But before I break it down step by step, here's how the whole thing looks like in one shot. So you open Telegram, you write him the message. We need to fix the software as a service landing page, change the styling of the get ready button to white. No ticket, there is no call, no follow-up, that's all. And in the background, you already could saw the button is readable. That's it. Okay, but before we go there, let's take a look at what problem we actually solve. So here you can see the actual dev cycle that every team is facing right now. You start with a client who needs a change. He goes to the project manager and describes his problem, who writes a ticket and puts it into a backlog. Eventually, a developer picks it up and writes the code. It gets reviewed, tested, deployed, and in the very end, the client can ask the question, is it done yet? Does it work? Does it solve my problem? Now, let's have a look how it looks in OpenClaw. The client comes to you, the one guy who is the IT specialist who knows how to set up the system, and he sends the request to the OpenClaw gateway via Telegram message, as you saw. And OpenClaw is configured to choose the right agent for the task. In this case, he will go to Claude and ask him to do some coding change. And it will start with a change, with a test, with a deployment. And so the end result will be the updated and deployed app that the client will then receive when he refreshes the page. And you see what's really interesting in this diagram? Probably you don't, because he is not in there. There is no developer. It's just you, the specialist, OpenClaw and the client. So now let's go into the details of how it actually works. So let's go in. Here you can see we have our simple demo web page, which has an obvious problem. Over there on the top right, there is a button that's not readable at all. We also have our OpenClaw ready and listening to our messages on Telegram. And right now I will instruct him to change this one button, which is a simple command in this case. Now, depending on the model, it will take some time. He will go into the code, analyze it, and find the correct place. This is such a small fix that it was so fast. You already saw it in the background. It's changed. You can read it now, and it says get started. And he forces this button to be with a white text. Now I will show you what he actually changed. Here's the Visual Studio Code. It's one change. Here, there is a difference. I actually just changed the color of this primary button to white. Super simple fix, but it took you like 5 seconds to do. It's super handy if you have no access to your workspace. I didn't have, I just used Telegram, and now he did the change. He saved it. That's how simple it is to set it up and to see how it works. There is not much to it if you configure it correctly. It will work for you like that. And believe me, this is already working for teams right now. It can work for yours too. And this is just one use case. If you have other ones and think about it, about onboarding or customer support, internal tools, you can adapt this workflow to these specific problems. The agents change, but the main principle and the idea stays the same. You have a workflow, you connect it to agents, and you make them solve these problems. Now, if you want the setup for your business, you can try it yourself, or you can reach out to us. We will help you. And you will find a way of contact in the links in the description down below. Write us a LinkedIn message or visit our website. And in the next video, we go deeper. We explore more use cases and show them how they work in OpenClaw. So subscribe to not miss any of the new use cases. See you there.